This is Stadium Steve. Today we are reviewing LaVell Edwards Stadium in Provo, Utah, home of the BYU Cougars. And first thing, like always, is how do you get here? Is actually about the only way to get here is by driving. Once you get off the 15 freeway, it is about 5 miles into Provo, so it's a little bit of a drive, and there is a lot of traffic because it's really the only way to get in and out. So I encourage you to leave early. Once you get here, parking, there is a lot of parking, but it tends to be a little bit a ways from the stadium. It was about a half a mile walk into the stadium here. So I just encourage everybody to leave early and put on your walking shoes. Once you get outside the stadium, it's really nice. They have the area roped off around the stadium, and they have a lot of food trucks and activities for the kids immediately outside the stadium, as you can see here. Okay, LaVell Edwards Stadium was built in 1964, or opened in 1964, and of course it's named after the legendary coach of BYU, LaVell Edwards. Little known facts about the stadium: it does seat approximately 65,000, and that makes it the largest stadium in the Big 12 Conference by pure capacity, which is probably not something that anybody would have guessed. As we're walking around the outside of the stadium, you can see here, this is the VIP tailgating area, which a lot of stadiums tend to have nowadays. Most notably USC's that we recently reviewed. Okay, here we are making our way inside the stadium. As you would expect, this is a dry stadium, meaning no alcohol is served here. And actually, you really won't find alcohol anywhere around the stadium either, being a Mormon institution. But as you can see here, as we're walking through the stadium, there are a lot of people. It is packed, and the corridors, there really doesn't allow for this many people, so it does get fairly crowded. But in terms of food, they do have your basic types of hot dogs, hamburgers, a little bit of barbecue, and they have something that's really good. It's called a Cougar's tail, which is like a very, very long donut, which is definitely worth trying if you're into donuts. Okay, as we are making our way to our seats, you'll see here on the right-hand side there are signs that talk about portals. You can see there's portal I, J, K, and L. The unfortunate part of this stadium is it does not really tell you how to get to your seats. It does not correspond to any kind of sections or row numbers, even though your ticket will say that you're seated in a certain section. That makes getting to your seat very, very confusing unless you know where to go or have season tickets. So I encourage you to ask an usher or somebody on the staff, because they all, or most of them, are carrying maps that tells you exactly what portal to enter based on your section number. Okay, here's a panoramic view of the stadium from my seat. I have been to the stadium one other time before this, and unexpectedly, this is one of the loudest stadiums that I have been to. And I'm not sure exactly why that is, except for the fact that the fans are incredibly passionate about their team here. But it is one of the most unexpectedly loud stadiums that I have been to. As you can see here, there is bench seating, which makes your life a little bit more uncomfortable, at least sitting up in the top sections. Once you get down a little bit further, closer to the field, especially on the main side of the field, there are a little bit more comfortable seats with backings to them. And here we are about to see the BYU Cougars taking the field. Okay, some interesting observations of the game. The cheerleaders do very little dancing, again, because this is maybe a Mormon institution. They do very little dancing. Essentially, is all they do is cheer, but not a lot of lifting and throwing and dancing. They did have a dance team come onto the field very, very briefly, but they weren't wearing your standard kind of dancing attire that you'd be expecting. They were wearing essentially track pants and track suits. But here's a glimpse of how loud the stadium gets. Number 25 before. Okay, LaVell Edwards Stadium on the campus of BYU is definitely worth the price of admission. The biggest drawbacks are the traffic getting in, the parking being a little bit too far away, and these seats. Once you're inside the stadium, the seats are fairly uncomfortable, so especially if you're sitting at the top section. But the fans are incredibly passionate. The food is average, not spectacular, but average there. And it really is just a really great viewing experience. So if you like this video, please like and subscribe. You can also follow me on Facebook, Instagram, X, or TikTok. See you on the next one.